Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 587 of Film Bastards. I'm warming up, I've just had a chicken Kiev, and as Mark said, it's sitting a little bit. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I am joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everybody.
I'm Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Hello, one and all. What have we got for you this week? We have got, from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. Hey, John Wick's in this. See, he just walked past. And also appears in a bit that chronologically felt confusing because it felt like he was busy enough in John Wick Chapter 3 without having to go on a job for Angelica Houston.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like like he was fighting somebody at a train station and he went, sorry, just 1 second. One second.
Yeah. Here's a £5. Go get yourself a baguette from Upper Crust. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I literally, the train I'm going to need is just over there. We will continue this. Be back in like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. We will get to it. Len Wiseman's, sure, Ballerina.
Yeah.
And
I said that in the cinema, didn't I? Came up by who directed by Len Wiseman. I was like, well, no, was it? Even IMDb is like scathing in the trivia section on IMDb for this film. Is like just ripping him apart. Hilarious.
Yeah, we'll get it. We will get into it. It's an interesting film as Ballerina to talk about, I think.
I'm glad you clarified.
I don't know, a village full of murderous families. There's sure. Anyway, we'll get to it. In like Norway or something, and the guy Gabriel Byrne's the Chancellor. Cool. Yeah, quite a batshit film. Anyway, what else are we doing? Because we're doing something else, and it's on the tip of my brain. It's a streaming thing.
If there was a killer, right, and someone killed them, what would they be?
Oh, Predator Killer of Killers. Thank you very much. Good stuff. Yes, we are going to talk about the Dan Trachtenberg directed Predator Killer of Killers, or at least co-directed. Because the animation director gets the co-directing credit, despite the fact they probably did a lot of that work. Anyway, it's like Scott Mosier, Kevin Smith's producer, getting a co-director credit on The Grinch. What the fuck's that about? What?
Yep.
What? The fucking Snowball from Clerks, like, directed Benedict Cumberbatch's vocals in The Grinch. It's a funny world. It's quite meandering this, sorry. So, what else? We're going to be talking some trailers. We've got some what we've been watching. I'm sure we'll do some other stuff as well. The Switch 2 did arrive.
Yes.
Oh shit, Brian Wilson died.
Yeah. 82. He did alright.
Yeah, alright. It's a decent innings. But yeah, that's sad. But anyway, the Switch 2 came. No. So, yes, the Switch 2 came. It's very good. I spent a weekend playing a lot of Mario Kart World and a lot of it online. I won... So, they've got a new mode on it called Knockout Tour, where it's 24 players, and you go through different courses, and every time you go through a course, the bottom 4 drop out.
Oh... So it's like a continuous run, but it's in a different courses.
Yeah. It's got like roads in between the courses and stuff. It's a really, really cool mode. Very, very hectic. I won one on Sunday night, and then I was just like, well, I never need to do that again. And it was just like, I'm out. And like
that is me with Fortnite. I won. I've played it like 7 times. I won 1. I don't know how I did it, and so I'm never going to play it again.
Yeah. You just go out on top. Like I want to play some multiplayer with George, and but in terms of like just seriously, I probably put about 7-8 hours into Mario Kart from like Thursday through Sunday.
Nice.
And it was great, and it's really it is an awful lot of fun. I don't think there's enough variety in it, and especially considering the fact that they're charging £75 for it. which is a choice.
That is one thing I have seen people saying is you're paying £75 for essentially a better looking version of a game that would have probably been very similar 30 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, but it does look great. Like Nintendo in 4K is very pretty. But it's it's a machine for Lottie. Like the new Pokemon, the latest Pokemon game no longer plays like shit. She's thrilled. Brilliant. Great stuff.
There you go. That's what we need.
Yeah. And, I'll have the odd dabble. Also, we got solar and battery installed yesterday, and it's working.
Nice.
It's a miracle. Yeah, it's mad. Like my house, like all day has just been running off of solar, and then when I had a shower and had the oven on, I just went, yeah, all right, I'll have battery as well. It's been ace. It's really good. It's like honestly, obviously it's June and it's like sunny today, but when I haven't had those kinds of appliances on, it like literally the solar's been charging the battery as well. It's been ace. So yes, there we are. So I can't ever use an excuse about having a power outage ever again for anything.
Nope.
Unless it's really
So that's
overcast.
something. Well, yeah, but I mean,
That was
it's like
obviously a joke. I know that's not how it works.
yeah, but also like the battery's got enough capacity for like a day if I'm not charging the car. So yeah, no, but it went okay. They were here for about 12 hours yesterday. I gave them both a big bottle of Heineken at the end because it was like, you two look fucked. But they did it all in one day, so good on them. Anyway, I recommend it. But also, thank you, previous employer, for paying for it. Bex, Resident Evil Requiem. Apparently you can play it in first or third person.
Ooh.
What have the recent ones been in their first, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah.
It's
What are your thoughts?
Because if you're looking over someone's shoulder, like, they're them and you're you.
I prefer that.
Well, you're fucking weird. You don't play games right. All you play is fucking football games. And Mad Max.
First person football game would be fucked.
Yeah.
There was one on the Amiga called Striker. Yeah.
How was that?
Weird. Really, like, it was like they made a game that was, like, fairly decent looking and then went, what we need, right, is the ball to just bounce and, like, the field of vision, what you're looking at it to go up and down. And occasionally it just goes side to side. So it looks really weird.
Ugh.
It was
That
confusing.
Yeah, confusing is the word. Yeah, Bex, what did you, in terms of like trailers, what did you think of the trailer for Resident Evil Requiem?
Yeah, it's it looks really good. The main character in it is apparently the daughter of a character in one of the weird branch off Resident Evil games, who gets like killed, which obviously is referenced in the trailer. So, but it's quite nice that they're, carrying on the family tree kind of connection. Yeah, real nice to see the RPD pop up. Yeah, it looks really good. It's very vague at this sort of stage, but the fact that it's going back to Raccoon City is very intriguing. A sort of post nuke. What did you think of it, Ian? Because apparently it's going to be less action based and more. Because my complaint with 5 was that, and really Nemesis is quite combat based. It's not really horror based. It's just fucking fighting, and it's not. Really
I got through the remake. Sorry, I got through the remake of Nemesis, and I'm a fucking pussy.
And it's not that it's scary. It's just constant fighting, and that's not.
Yeah.
That's not really what I go to these games for. Whereas the newer ones have been more investigate-y, sneak around, kind of kill people. Yeah, you still have to kill people, but it's been a bit more horror based. And then but But yeah, Nemesis, I tried a replay of Nemesis very recently and just had to give up on it because I couldn't be fucking arsed just fighting with minimal ammo, because it's like right at the start of the game and it's like, I'm here to solve puzzles and be scared, thanks. So apparently this is going to be more horror-y and more investigative, which I'm quite intrigued by.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil next year as well, so it feels like if they're going to do something that's like going to be like back to where it all started kind of a thing, and maybe having that kind of mood and tone a little bit more. I mean, I won't play it, obviously, but it looks great as well. Like, I mean, like, because those will be in-engine cutscenes, and it won't be developed for PlayStation 4 or Xbox One anymore, so they can kind of push that tech to the next level as well. So it's gonna look awesome. I will ask as well, because this trailer actually came out after we recorded last week. Silent Hill F.
Fucking hell, inject it into my fucking eyes right now.
Yeah.
That game looks amazing. I can't stop watching the trailer. I just can't. I just keep at least like 3 times a day at this stage.
It looks like if it was a film, it would be like one of the scariest Asian horrors of all time.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's fucking terrifying, that trailer. Have you watched it in full?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it looks like you're going to like literally play it really late at night and be fucking terrified.
Yeah. I had a nightmare about it the other day, actually. Yeah. I tried showing it to someone at work. So like, what are you fucking watching? I was like, oh, this, and then I got like halfway through, and he was like, why is her head and ass on backwards? I don't want to watch any more of this.
I tell you what though, it's interesting. I started watching 28 Days Later, and I got a minute in, and I was just like, no, I can't. I'm not going to be able to hack this. I'm really like wary of 28 Years Later, and I don't know, man. Like, all of this shit now gets to me. Like, I was listening to a podcast earlier on, and they were talking about Bring Her Back, that new one from the Talk to Me guys.
Yeah.
And they started kind of going spoilery on it, and I was just like, right, if that's the opening of that film, I'm not gonna watch it. That's fine. And I just heard them talk about. So I will not be reviewing Bring Her Back. You two have fun. And oh man, I just can't. I can't do it anymore. I'll watch 28 Years Later because it's Danny Boyle, and I don't get the sense that there's going to be stuff in it as upsetting as a couple of moments in the first two for me.
I don't remember the second one as much. I'm looking forward to rewatching them. We're going to try and see if we can go to the couple of the cinema screens out of X.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember the first two being fucking bleak.
Yeah, it is that, and you know, it's that with like Silent Hill F as well. But 28 Years Later, basically the sequence where Robert Carlyle kind of gets himself infected, and that like gets infected, and then just like basically smashes the shit out of his wife and kills her. I cannot even face watching that film again, knowing that that's in there. And 28 Days, it's just a very, very bleak concept. And also, I don't know, man, like, you look at what's going on with like what Trump's doing at the moment and the riots and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like, and all, you know, everything that's going on in the Middle East, the world is a pretty fucking bleak place right now. And 28 the 28 films have got a real sense of realism to them, you know, like that palpable, this could happen energy. Not I suppose not that could happen, but you know, situations where people like go feral and start attacking each other and stuff like that. It feels like America's like maybe not far off that.
I mean, yeah, there was a bit earlier this week where you thought, are America going to be in a civil war by the end of this week? like not even like a half joking.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to watch because I barely remember either of them, to be perfectly honest, days or weeks. So I'm really excited to rewatch them. Like, I remember them being good, but I don't remember the detail.
We're wired very differently, but we knew that. But in terms of trailers, I tell you what. Did you two witness and feel the haptic trailer for F1?
I have not, no. It came out while I was at work and I literally have just got back. So how does that work?
Right, try it now, right? Get on your phones, get on Apple TV, and it will probably be like the first thing that's presented to you.
Right, I will. That's not that. Apple TV. Apple. It just comes up as, for some reason, Apple TV, don't like you searching for Apple TV, you have to just search for TV.
It's literally the front screen of home.
Yeah.
And it's actually a new trailer as well. That's the thing.
Ooh, it's doing some things. Oh, that feels a little bit like your PS4 5 controller.
Yep.
Oh. Oh. Wonder what this is feel like if this is what it feels like we watched it in 4DX.
That's exactly what came to mind for me. It does. The in-car bits were like, it's like playing F125. It's very odd.
Oh, damn it, I wanted to feel what a hug felt like.
Oh, I'd say that, like a little poke in the ribs to simulate a hug from Kerry Condon.
Yep. I like the fact that Kerry Condon is Irish in this film as well. That they've not gone, just like American yourself up.
And the race strategist she's based on, apparently, is like really kind of embarrassed, but like about it, and like the Sky presenters have been like kind of teasing her about it on screen.
So what while this is on, what could you watch like the races and bits like that, don't you? And you watch some of like the build-up bits like that. Why was everyone angry with Bukayo Saka? Apparently he was rude to Martin Brundle.
Oh yeah, no. Well, he was basically, so Martin Brundle does these pit walk things.
Yeah, I saw the Van Dijk one.
And it's basically Martin Brundle gets himself into these situations where you'll have people on the grid and just milling around the F1 paddock who have no real interest in F1 and they're there on a jolly. And to be fair to Bukayo Saka, it was the England football team, so he probably didn't have a choice either way. And Martin Brundle like came up to him and tried to talk to him, and he was just like, yeah, no, basically, like, no. But he might not have been made aware of what Martin Brundle was doing, and it was.
I saw a thing about it saying, this is how you don't act around people. This is how you do act around people. But there was no video for the Saka one. I thought, well, everything I've always heard about him apparently is he's a very nice young man.
I think it was, he wasn't briefed about it. He didn't particularly feel like being on camera that day. There you go.
Yeah.
It was probably that.
The Van Dijk one is he clearly knows who Martin Brundle is as well because he calls him Martin.
I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. It's the grid walk's so interesting because it's either they know who he is and they're well up for it, or they are just, I'm here with Red Bull and, go Max Verstappen, yeah. And then every now and then you'll get, no, I don't want to talk, thanks. Like Brian May was there at the British Grand Prix the day that the first F1 trailer came out, and like We Will Rock You's on that. So Brian May was basically there because of that, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not really into Formula One. I've got nothing to say." And it's an interesting because
like, then why are you there?
yeah, because it's a jolly like that. That's basically it. The teams will basically pay for these celebrities to come. Like Timothée Chalamet was like rocked up to the Miami one, and he was with Red Bull's junior team, and he was actually quite a good sport about it, and they got like a good like social media stuff around it. But then he wasn't on the grid. Martin Brundle wasn't going to be interviewing him, so it's a funny thing. And also, like, quite frankly, if you don't have any interest in Formula One, you'll have no fucking idea who Martin Brundle is.
Yeah.
Why would you? So, it's, yeah. I'm going to stop talking about F1 in a couple of weeks, which some people might be really pleased about. It's out in 2 weeks.
Fair.
I'm looking forward to it, and the word now, apparently, like the early buzz is it's good.
I've heard that.
So, yeah. So, but it's also 2.5 hours long. So
I kind of expected that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's out on the Wednesday, and it's the Wednesday that I think I'm in Edinburgh. So I'm trying to figure out a way of getting to Edinburgh in time that I can go catch a showing of it on the Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I might have to take a train to Edinburgh from Cardiff if I want to do that. So I might do that.
Yeah.
It's commitment.
Go for it.
It's commitment. Right.
That is weird. It's weird. And you kind of go, so basically my phone buzzes a bit.
Various buzzes, though.
Yeah. It's interesting and I like it. But it's like, I worry that I'm going to end up with like trailers for things that I don't need it for.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the trailer looks good. I'm excited for that movie, to be fair.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm not excited for?
Go on.
The Pickup.
You looks like fucking... Yeah, I'm with you on
that. Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson teaming up, how does that look shit?
It's Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson.
Hey,
I don't mind both those people though. Murphy's kind of like crawled out of his I need to play every character hole.
Oh, he's a bit of a has-been though, isn't he?
But he's still funny.
Is he?
Yeah, because that Axel F movie was good.
But unlike Sonny Hayes from F1, he wasn't and never was.
No. He was the big boy. Yeah, it just... It looks... It just... I don't get why they're doing it, other than the fact that I don't get why it exists. Look, it feels like it shouldn't exist, but it does, so I will watch it.
Yeah,
you're a strange boy.
Well, why not? What else are you gonna do?
Just watch Hard Rain instead.
I mean, I'll watch Hard Rain as well.
That's fair.
Wicked for good.
Fuck off.
Sure.
I genuinely could not care less. And the fact that they're all being all like, ooh, who's playing Dorothy? Oh my god, we're not going to tell
Taylor
you.
Swift in it.
I don't fucking know. Apparently
Is it really?
Apparently
Is it really?
What did you say that? Sorry?
Apparently it's a big old secret.
I read it was Taylor Swift.
Absolutely fuck off then. Fuck off and
I like Taylor Swift.
all the way
fuck
down the
off.
yellow brick fucking road.
If there feels a little bit... Yeah, I read somewhere that apparently it's Taylor Swift, but then I thought, but she's too old.
I think she's also too arrogant to take a bit part like that as well, because it's not a big part in Wicked.
But I mean, just it's too old.
Yeah, she is too old.
It'll probably end up being Ryan Reynolds.
I read one of the... I think, right, so there's a great thing that seems to have happened now on various social media sites, mostly Facebook, on there, where there are sites and pages that will just post like random, absolute fucking clickbait things, and I never click into them. But the headlines for some of them are great that you can read by and go, "Not though, is it?" And like one of them today was Ryan Reynolds is Black Panther in alternative universe Doomsday. I'm like, I bet he in.
Reynolds or Gosling?
Gosling, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bet he in. Like, I bet he in.
I've seen that pop up a few times though, so if it is...
I reckon Ryan Gosling would go, I am way too smart to do something that fucking stupid.
But isn't there an alternative timeline where, in the comics, where Black Panther is...
I don't know.
I mean, it'd be a stupid cinematic thing to do,
but there's some great ones.
I don't know enough about the comics, but yeah, there is, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Carrie. What else trailers have we got?
That's what I said. Eddington.
Yeah.
It looks all right from this trailer. Good. Like, I'm up for that.
I'm up for it more the more I see of it, and I was up for it from the first trailer, but I was a little bit like, I don't know if this is the movie the world needs right now.
Yeah, but don't worry, because fuck all people are actually going to watch it. But, like, film Twitter will make you think that everybody is.
I don't know. I don't think film Twitter exists anymore. I think Twitter/X is just... It's just pure hate and bile.
I mean, mate, to be fair, Blue Sky is basically all hate and bile, but it's liberal hate and bile.
I occasionally go on it to have a look because there's a couple of like football accounts that are still active that I can look at, but it's always kind of like fun to have a little bit of a quick scroll in the For You page, and it's like, I don't think any of this is for me. Like, the sheer amount of just aggression against women is just insane on there.
Breaking news, Zoe Saldana has said that her Oscar is trans and goes by they, them.
Oh. Cool.
I mean, to be fair, she's probably just joking and people are turning it into like a thing.
You mean like when people who vote reform say, "Oh, there was a 7-year-old who identified as a cat."
Yeah,
so
that one, yeah. Or also, right on the whole trans thing.
Yeah.
Watching people online get their fucking knickers in a twist and get all pressed about Hunter Schafer playing Zelda is hilarious, because if you look at a side by side, she just fucking looks like Zelda.
Perfect fucking casting.
Absolutely.
I'm also Hunter Schafer. Yep, sold. Fucking sold.
I mean, I don't get it. Like,
what? Have you not seen her? She's hot as fuck.
Oh no, I get that. I don't get the outrage. Like,
do you not? Do you live in this world?
Well, yeah. I just, if she was unsuitable for the role and didn't look like the character for various reasons, then I could understand it a little bit. But she just does.
Yeah. Well, talking about unsuitable.
And she's a good actress.
Talking about unsuitable.
Go on.
Have either of you watched the trailer for Freakier Friday?
No.
I can't. I can't.
It's. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm aware that I'm going to take the bullet for the team on this one.
No, I mean, like, Lots and Dom both want to see it, and I'll go see it with them, because like Don never comes to the cinema, so like when she does, I should make the most of it.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, for a start off, it looks fucking horrible. I don't just mean like it looks like shit. The visual style of it is that, generic streamer style where it looks like every single light is turned on, but there's probably no lighting technician on set. They've just hit the up button on colour and contrast and everything. when they've been editing it. And it just looks confusing. And Jamie Lee Curtis just constantly does that scream thing that she does all the time now.
Yeah, no. We're actually away the weekend it comes out, so I'm kind of hoping might just go, oh, never mind, you guys could just watch it on Disney Plus, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So that's Freaky Friday. What else have we got? I think that's it for me.
I had a look, 'cause there was there was another one that I saw. But it might not. Nope, that's it for me as well. There's not been that much out, has there? Yeah, that's it for me as well.
Cool. Okay. All right. Let's roll into a little bit of from the world of John Wick : Ballerina. Even though, to be fair, the film itself actually just says Ballerina in the title card. So I shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's called Ballerina, and apparently it's just marketed as from the world of John Wick: Ballerina.
Yeah, there we are. Okay. Directed by Len Wiseman, with some heavy creative consulting from Chad Stahelski. Starring Ana de Armas, Ian McShane, Keanu Reeves, Gabriel Byrne, Angelica Houston, and Norman Reedus as character adjusted in reshoots. I think he was in way more of this, then they cut him out. There you go. That's what I'm saying, and I'm sticking to it. An assassin trained in the traditions of the Ruska Roma organisation sets out to seek revenge after her father's death. Yeah? I mean, well, no.
Not really. It's quite a few years after her father's death, isn't it? And she happens to come across someone with a scar.
Yeah, because she's doing her she's just on a job, and then someone with an X on their wrist rams their car into her.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes on from there. So, spin-off from the John Wick films, has not done super well. It's kind of at the low end of projections upon opening. It's been around for a while. They delayed it for a year for reshoots and stuff, so it has been in a state of completion for a fair old chunk of time. And Becky, Ballerina, you've already kind of intimated your thoughts anyway, but yeah, what happened with this one?
Yeah, it's a weird one, because I mean, for an action movie, even the action in it is shit, up until the point where she goes into the gunsmiths and then she fights and actually looks like she's been in a fight before. The stuff prior to that is really badly, like real bad fight choreography. She only wins those fights because the narrative dictates that she wins those fights. She's inept up to that point. The bit where she's protecting that girl, she wins by fucking luck. And
do you know what it reminded me of?
She wins because the script says she wins.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminded me of it a little bit, because I agree with you a little bit on that. Do you remember in Buffy? Buffy would always be fucking great, but if ever Angel was anywhere near her, she'd be shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, save me, Angel.
Yeah.
I mean, we all do that. Girls all do that. We'll carry in like 10 bags of shopping, and then like you'll come in and they'll be like, oh, I need a hand. Can't lift any of them. But anyway, yeah, real bad. And there is definitely a feeling of someone else has taken over the action from that point and gone, Len, fuck off.
Yeah.
Just fuck off. You shit at this. But in Len Wiseman,
no.
What?
He's not good.
No. In the Underworld guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not bad action-wise.
I have a feeling if you went back and looked at them now, you'd go, oh, this is the PS2 version of things.
I can't get past the bit where Kate Beckinsale does a superhero landing. I have to go change my pants every time.
don't we all?
But anyway, yeah, it's. I really feel that it suffers from the John Wick insertion. Sorry. Sorry.
There should just be a porn parody called the John Wick insertion.
I'm going to check to see if there is.
Tickled me more than it should.
That's what she said.
That's what she said, yeah. It didn't need it. Because it fucks with the timeline so badly, and you're like, hang on a second, so isn't this between 3 and 4? But that bit happens in 3, and then between 3 and 4, like after that bit when he sees giant face Angelica Houston, he's not connected to the Ruska Roma anymore because she like breaks his ticket or whatever the fuck. So he can't go back to them. So should if he can't go back to them, they can't go to him.
He's indebted to them.
Right. But then, like, it's still a bit like you say, when did he find time to do this? Like, when he was in hiding and was supposed to be dead with the Bowery kid?
I want to now go back and watch John Wick 3, just because why not? And I want to try and work out where it happened.
He's quite busy in John Wick 3.
I go, there.
He's too busy in John Wick 3, and then that ends, and then isn't he?
He'd been shot.
Yeah, he'd been shot, but I suppose nobody actually thought he was dead.
No, he's taken in by the Bowery King, and he sort of nurses him back to health, and then they plot.
But
it would make sense to fall into that slot where they're plotting, but he's in hiding. So if the Ruska Roma know where he is...
Yeah, but the Ruska Roma would know where he is anyway. They would.
But then
the Ruska Roma would know where he is.
Just going out in the world and doing jobs is not a thing that he would do if he was in hiding.
No, but he might have to do a little bit of a favour.
It just makes no fucking sense. And the him being in it didn't need it. It's a bit of a...
I mean, he did.
Alright, well yeah, it did. Alright, if it's that shit that it needs it, then don't make it.
No, it's not that shit, but I think that you the problem is, if you don't put him in it, all people are going to be doing is saying, yeah, but why want John Wick in it?
Yeah, but the early cameo makes sense. Him coming back into it later on just makes no sense to me. Like,
not.
by that point, the action's got better, the story's gathered a bit of pace, you're kind of interested in what's going on, and then all of a sudden, he's there. And it's like he keeps saving her. And it's like, if you're going to make a movie about a female assassin that's as badass as John Wick because she's been trained by the same people, yeah, well, then maybe don't get someone that looks like a fucking preschooler to play your badass assassin. That's a whole other issue. But... if you're going to make that kind of film, don't then make her need to get fucking saved by a man. And also, right, if you're John Wick, right, your motivation is your fucking puppy got killed, right?
Fucking too right.
But if it's a woman, it always has to be about fucking children. not fucking children.
But
about children, like, and maternal instinct and bullshit like that. Why can't it just be something cool?
Well, it was,
not
initially.
All of us.
It was about a trauma.
Oh, yeah. But not all of us like children. If I was tasked with saving a child, I'd just be like, I can take the hit on this one.
I have found out what the John Wick porn parody is called, and it's... I mean, let's be honest, they usually get these pretty much spot on.
What, John Dick?
No, it's not. It's called John Wank.
Yeah, all right.
Which it feels a little bit like you usually do better than this porn. There's one thing that porn and podcasters have in common, and it is just like going for it with like complete weird fucking names for their like episodes and bits like that.
Anyway, after that sidebar, back to what I was actually saying. Rudely interrupted my rant. Have the confidence in your product. Don't make the motivation what it always is when there's a female fucking lead. It's lazy as fuck. And maybe don't cast Anna de Armas. I don't know why they keep pushing with Anna de Armas. She's clearly... she's hot, but she's clearly not clicking with audiences. Apart from men who watch it on silent and fucking masturbate.
I mean, no one's watching that on silent.
I don't get it.
Bex, that point... I mean, I was nodding my head throughout there. But particularly the fact that if John Wick wasn't there, she actually would have died. Like, that is really annoying.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is. Yeah.
And it's the earlier bit where it's like he's walking past and then she has the conversation with him is a bit clunky, but that feels like what all that he was originally in it for was that one bit as a it's in this world, he's having a conversation with her. That second bit, and then and then he just gets involved. He's a backup guy, and it's like, no, don't do that. It's so frustrating. And Mark, I'll ask you. I fuck it, I'm on it now, so I'll just say my piece. Like, this is a film which just should be better than what it is, with like the kind of like the heritage that it's got. You've got Chad Stahelski, you've got just great action people, and the only action I really remember is the stuff that's obviously Stahelski. So, the bit where they're just smashing plates over each other, like that is a Buster Keaton kind of physical comedy kind of thing that Stahelski like wears on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And then the flamethrower stuff, because like that feels very much like the top-down bit in John Wick Chapter 4.
Yes.
And so, but that's all I really remember. But at the same time, it's got that John Wick universe heightened silly bollocks that I like. Like I said earlier in the show, the village full of like murderous families who are just, where that guy from The Life Aquatics just like, go get them. And then it's everybody's like the bell ringer guy. And then everybody's like, yeah, okay, we're going to kill her. And then she's got to deal with that. I like that absurdity.
But by that point, though, this is the point that I was making, is that by that point, this could have stood up on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, it got on quite badass.
Yeah, but I mean, like I'd say the first half is pretty painful to get through. The setting up the fucking childhood trauma bollocks, and then Angelica Houston just like negging her, and I don't care. Lance Reddick, bless him, getting one fucking scene, and de-aged or whatever the fuck they were doing with Ian McShane. Just, all right, we get it. It's in the John Wick world. Tell your own story. Just tell your own fucking story. And then you've got Norman Reedus in it for about 10 minutes, and I swear to God, that character was originally supposed to be a backup, and they've put John Wick in there.
Yeah, that one surprised me, yeah. Yeah, that actually tracks, it actually makes sense, yeah. Because he doesn't...
It's a shame, actually. I like Norman Reedus. He's got a good on-screen charisma.
Yeah.
Even if he has got his Daryl hair going on.
But he is basically just playing just slightly speeded up Daryl from... What's it? But yeah, he does...
I mean, mate, he's got range. He also plays a delivery man in Death Stranding, and you control him for 40 fucking hours.
But then, yeah, because he doesn't... Like, when he fake dies, but he's probably not dead, because it's John Wick, and no one actually dies. When that happens at the other side of a train going by, it's a bit like, that smacks of... there was supposed to be more. Because you'd film that, if not.
Well, he was between series of Walking Dead, wasn't he? So I don't know whether his time was limited, and that's why he's got the hair. The Daryl hair.
Mark,
when we come at the cinema, we're talking about Workbacks, and I kind of split it down. Usually, you split movies down into thirds. So you've got your beginning, your middle, and your end. Your 3 acts. I think this is almost like a 5-act thing, where the first act is shit. Like the opening to it is shit, and there's an element of right. Couldn't you have done better? Like, why is it always a parent? Think of something else. You did that with John Wick. It was the dog, and it was almost like you'd think about it and go, there's in theory, when you think it out loud, it's like, yeah, but it's a dog. But then for anybody who's had a pet would go, oh, I don't give a shit. Someone kills my dog, I will murder everybody to get to them.
Yeah.
And there's that element. So no one actually thinks it's silly. But in theory, it could seem silly, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like, if it's Budgie, you'd be like, no, it's shit, it's Budgie. So there's that. But I kind of liked the next 2/5. And then it becomes baggy as fuck for the 3rd fifth. The 4th fifth is fucking great. And then the last fifth is just like, will you please end?
So I just a bit of context. I've got a new watch, and I wear Casio watches, and most of them have got like a light up feature, so I can tell the time in the cinema.
I can't wait to see where this is going. Sorry.
My new one doesn't. So like I kept having to just tap Mark's Apple Watch to get it to light up, so I could see what time it was, because I was so fucking desperate for it to end, so we could go get dinner.
I will say this. I think that it's some of the action sequences are really fun and really good. I think once it finds its level, it's good. I do enjoy the absurdity of the John Wick world. I like that. I don't think this has the richness of the John Wick sequels, where they have a bit of, I don't know, they're just, they feel really like all the ingredients are really high quality. And then you're eating it, you're going, this is a really fucking, everything's perfect burger. It is that kind of thing. They're very silly, but they're very, very good. This feels a little bit like...
They've got the cheesy slices for the burger from the supermarket rather than like proper cheese slices.
There's been too many corners cut. Yeah, it's...
There's certain bits of it though that are really fucking good.
But then there is there's certain bits of it that are really good.
But
the other bit there is that I keep coming back to in my brain is, but why did you hire Len Wiseman?
Yeah, why not just get the Chad guy to do it from the start?
Or you must know somebody that isn't him. There, but I did really enjoy some of the action bits. The town, it's a good villain. It's a decent villain. Gabriel Byrne plays a decent villain. I like the fact that it's essentially a cult. I also like the fact that there seems to be an idea a little bit that is kind of, it's still lingering in the background there. It could crop up, but they don't actually have to make it crop up. It could have just all died with him. They've left that kind of open enough. I think he's decent in it, but I can also see why other people would say that she's just not suited for it. The points that you both made about John Wick coming in and saving her, that was a little bit like, we know John Wick is an ultimate badass. You don't need to then use this to further enhance his legend. And that's what this kind of seems to do. But the fact is she does get saved by him. Do you know what did really bother me though?
Go on.
The fact the ending is exactly the same as John Wick Chapter 2's.
I did find that a little bit amusing and a little bit like, really? Do you think we would have noticed?
Sorry.
Is when they're in that town that is in wherever it is, Hallstatt, which is supposed to be somewhere in
Probably
Prague.
Norway or something.
I
mean, it looked very snowy.
Yeah. Right, so when they're in that town, it's all snowy and everything like that, and I like a film set in snow, we know that. But all of like the pathways and everything were iced over and everything, and they're all fucking running around on them. And not one person slips the fuck up. No. I'm sorry, no. I will suspend belief, right, that at the opera, randomly there happens to be like fucking 6 or 7 assassins that are there. I will suspend all of that belief. But no, you cannot convince me that in the John Wick universe, ice isn't slipping.
Well, no, because there's that whole bit before the action gets good and she's really fucking inept and she's trying to protect that girl, and there's ice in the club for some reason.
Yeah.
And they're slipping all over the place.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them ice in the club. I'm fine with that. What I can't take... This might be my What is it? There's a whole
Star
thing in
Wars
Star
World,
Wars. Yeah.
yeah.
This might be my that. I'm sorry, she should have. There's a bit where she runs up some stairs. And I'm like, nah, mate, not in those fucking boots, in that ice. You're falling the fuck over. I don't care how good your ballerina balance is.
Maybe they've salted the staircase.
They haven't.
You don't know.
No, they haven't, mate. There was no grit on that. If somebody had just like put a bit of grit on it, I'd have been like, do you know what? All right, maybe. But no motherfucker's slipping up. It's bullshit.
Okay.
Lost maybe half a star for that. But I did enjoy my time with it. It's too long. But then there's an extended sequence with a fucking flamethrower. And then he's got a flamethrower as well, and he's going at it.
I've played computer games. Flamethrowers don't kill people that quickly or easily.
What you play computer games?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the PS3 game that you played.
Why are flamethrowers so shit in computer games?
What?
Like, you get the flamethrower in a game and you're like, fuck yeah. And then it just
Runs out well quick,
yeah.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
runs out really quick.
I like a good Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, they are good.
I mean, let's face it, the best weapon in a game, in any game, is a shotgun.
Shotgun, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It is. It's just the only problem is there isn't enough ammo in them.
I don't know, I quite like my chainsaw in Resident Evil 2.
It's shotgun, mate.
The shotty in Doom, the 2016 Doom, is, maybe close to sex.
I liked it. I think I probably liked it the most out of all of us, but I'm still a 3.5 out of 5.
What does that translate to?
7 out of 10.
Hey, look.
On our ratings.
Definitely not shit. I don't think it's shit. I think it's definitely not shit.
Interesting.
I don't think it's shit, but it's annoying.
I will say this about it. Angelica Houston shouldn't be in things anymore.
No. Is she unwell or something?
I don't know.
Like, I don't want to be insensitive if she is, but what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean she's 73.
It is a little bit like, you're Angelica Houston. You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, she was in chapter 3, and I'm sure she knows Keanu Reeves or something, and it was probably like a nice thing for them to have a scene together. But it's not like then Lionsgate call her a couple of years later, and it's just like, could you be in Ballerina? Well, actually, no, you have to be in Ballerina.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if her agent just missed that in the contract?
Yeah. Whoops. Angie, funny story. I mean, Gabriel Byrne feels like he's perfect for this world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Gabriel Byrne, just Gabriel burning it up.
Yeah, he is burning around the place. I like the fact that there's certain words that he can't quite roll his accent around, so he just goes full Irish Gabriel Byrne for certain words. So he's doing like this kind of like Middle European fucking slightly Germanic voice, and then all of a sudden you'll just get Gabriel Byrne voice. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I don't know, it just feels a little ropey and a little weird to be a summer blockbuster release.
Yeah.
Like, if this fucker came out in like February or March, to be honest, I think I'd probably be kinder to it.
Yeah, I think it doesn't feel like it should have come out in June. It does feel like it should have been like a February or a early November movie. Before everyone's Christmas lights have gone up, here you go. There's a bit of Anna de Armas in a nice coat in the snow.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, but I'm definitely not shit on it. Next.
Shit.
Oh, wow. Fuck you. Our audience poll was definitely not shit 100%. People liked it, apart from Becky.
I just don't like the fact that they've gone, oh yeah, right, let's make a badass girl one, feminism woo, and then just had her saved by a boy.
Which is a fair comment.
Yep, totally. Okie dokie. Let's do what we've been watching and all those bits and bobs. So over to you guys.
What have you watched, Bex? You watched a lot, have you?
I've watched nothing.
What have we watched together? We watched Demolition Man, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yep. We rewatched Demolition Man.
I really like Demolition Man. It's fucking fun.
I like Demolition Man. It's been a long time to watch. I watched Demolition Man a lot as a kid because it was one of the films I had on video. I had it on video because I sneak bought it for my sister for Christmas. So I got my sister Demolition Man for Christmas one year, knowing that I didn't just watch it more than her, because she happened to mention that she liked Demolition Man at one point, and I was like, oh, I have a workaround here where I can get a copy of Demolition Man without actually having to give up a present or spend any of my own money, because I can get my parents to buy my sister it for Christmas. I don't think I bought it. I think I got my parents to buy her it.
Nice.
I was like, she wants this.
No, it's good. It's fun. It's funny. It's charming because Sandra Bullock's there, and yeah, it's just good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot sillier than I remember it being. Like, I remember it being a little more serious. Than watching it this time around, I was like, oh, this is incredibly, you know what you're doing. This is quite silly.
I do like how it blends the silly, which would like outwardly signal that it's like a family-friendly movie with quite a lot of swearing and violence. Though.
Quite a lot of swearing and
I like
violence,
that.
yeah. But there's also like wacky sound effects when Wesley Snipes is beating people up,
Yeah, it's good. It's a
which
weird one.
I don't remember.
It does make it into a little bit of a who's it for,
Yeah.
but I like it.
My issue as well is Benjamin Bratt is way too like happy in it, that there must have been some real bad sadness going on in his life to act that happy, and that makes me sad. Because at the time I'm fairly certain he was married to Halle Berry. So how can you be that internally sad when you're married to Halle Berry?
Maybe he's just really happy.
You won't. No one who acts that happy is actually happy.
Maybe it's just coming through.
No.
Maybe it's like when Tom Cruise jumps on that sofa. It's
No.
just bursting out of him.
No, Benjamin Bratt, there's a sadness behind his eyes in that film.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that it? Is that all you watched?
Yeah.
Wow. I've watched some things.
I mean, I watched a TV show, but you don't care about TV.
What? Of course we do. Talk about a TV show.
Go on, talk about TV.
So, there's a TV show, I think I've mentioned it on here before, called Channel Zero.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically, as it stands, 4 series of... It's like an anthology kind of series by series, and they're based on creepypastas that are off like Reddit and stuff like that. It's a similar way to like Slender Man, but not as shit.
Yeah.
So you've got Candle Cove, which is it's about this like TV show that these kids remember from when they were younger, but like the adults, whenever the kids were watching this TV show, all they saw on the TV was static because they were like imagining it, and then they've bolstered the story and then made it into the first series of Channel Zero. And then there's No End House, which is based around like a creepy haunted house, and if you make it through to room 6, I think it is in the TV series, room 9, I think in the actual original story, you win. But it never actually ends, so you get out the other end of it and you think, oh my god, I've won. And then like, so in the actual story, because I've not got to the end of season 2 yet of the TV show, but in the story, the guy gets through room 9 and he gets the $500 reward for winning the house, for beating the house. And then he goes home and he gets to his front door and he sees like a number 10 marked on it. So he's in room 10 of the No End House. He's not actually gone really actually home. He doesn't live at number 10, for example. So I'm working my way through that, but I said to you the other day, now the jump in quality, like Candle Cove, the first series is really good. but the jump in quality to season 2 is just bonkers. And it's got quite decent cast members that pop up in it as well. So yeah, working my way through that at the moment. It was originally on Sci-Fi, then I think it had a little bit of a moment on Shudder, but now it's finally on. No disrespect to Shudder, but it's finally on a proper streaming service, not an add-on. So I think it could be quite good. People might get sort of more widely viewed. But yeah, it is good. It's really fucking creepy. And then Series 3 is based on a story called Search and Rescue Woods, and then Season 3 is based on one called The Dream Door. So what I'm doing is I'm reading them before I watch the shows, because like I've read the other two, Candle Cove and Norrid House, prior to the series being a thing, but ages ago. So I'm just like reminding myself of what the source is before going into the series. And it's really interesting how they've like managed to expand on them to make a TV series.
Nice.
So yeah, that's it.
What have I watched? So I rewatched The Dark Knight Rises, just because I fancied watching it. I really like The Dark Knight Rises. I know it gets a little bit of shit, but I really like it. It's tense. It's fun. It's got fucking great action. I actually think Bane is a fucking cracking villain, and I also like the fact that he's a cracking villain up to the point of where the film Nolan literally goes, "Oh, he's not the main villain though," and it's just dispatched like that. But there's just some great moments from that Hardy is absolutely fucking like channeling within it. So like the initial bit where you've got the opening of it in the plane, and you've got Aidan Gillen literally lifts off his thing. He's looking like already just straight up at him. He's not like looking down and looks up as he's going. He's looking straight up at him.
This is a question. Name a film that has had a better sense of scale and like kind of production value since Dark Knight Rises.
Since? Ooh. Blade Runner 2049?
Yeah, okay, that's a good shout. But I think the point I'm trying to... I think that's a really good answer. The point I'm trying to make is... This was one of the last blockbusters that doesn't necessarily... And like really expansive films that aren't just a bunch of actors shot against green screens.
Oh, yeah. You believe that all the things that are happening there...
with like hundreds of extras and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Well, that's it. You've even got the like the opening bit with the plane. It's a plane. They're on a plane. You know, they did that. It's real, and you can tell that it's real. And you know, it's I think you're right in that. It feels epic. And people will point at things like Endgame and say that. And they do feel like epic and it's like that, but they also... You're palpably aware of the fact that they're not... That, like, Wakanda isn't a place.
Yeah, there's no sense that they're actually all together in a real place. I think maybe in Infinity War, when they're in Wakanda and they're fighting whoever the fuck they are, like, there's that. But then the bit in Endgame where they're all, like, coming through the portals and stuff.
Yeah, it's not
like they shot that all together at the same time on a real location.
No, and there's a propulsion, I think, behind Dark Knight Rises that takes you specifically up to a point and then it very deliberately stops. And then you have this moment of a little bit of like downtime with it, where it's building up this other tension, and then you have the big fucking crescendo at the end of it.
Because that's the thing. It's like, I don't know whether this is true or not, but I heard that Nolan originally wanted to call this film Gotham City, or like The Dark Knight Gotham City, and that feels so appropriate. Because it is, there is an arc for Batman / Bruce Wayne in this film, but it's not like Batman Returns, where it's like, but really Tim Burton's interested in the Penguin and Catwoman. I think Nolan's interested in all of it, and it's because they all encompass Gotham City, like Batman does, and John Blake does, and like all the characters, like the police commissioner and Matthew Modine's fuck you, Matthew Modine, but his character, like,
I was thinking that when he came up, I thought, fucking hell. When Ian rewatches this, he's going to be like, fucking that guy.
Mate, I watched a bunch. I rewatched a bunch of Nolan last year, and like I watched Dark Knight Rises last year, and yeah, when Matthew Modine came up, I was like, fuck, I forgot he was in this. It's, but yeah, Dark Knight Rises is a film that gets a really bad rap, and I do wonder, people watching it now, whether they'd be kinder to it, considering what we've had since. But you and I were there from the start.
Yeah, there's so much, because a lot of it was kind of people bandwagon jumping onto the isn't Bane's voice funny thing, but Bane's a fucking good villain. Hardy's doing some great fucking eye acting. There's a bit where it's the bit with Daggett. Fucking hell, what's his name?
Oh, Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn and old melty face, what's his name? Bern Gorman. Where he
burned my face, man. Sorry.
He like literally, there's a weird really affectation that he does where he puts like his hand, but with his palm facing up on Ben Mendelsohn's shoulder.
Do you feel like you're...
And it's just like, why is he doing that? But it's fucking terrifying. And Ben Mendelsohn has literally said afterwards, I didn't know he was going to do that. He says, and then when you turn around and look, and he said, Tom's not... He said, I'm actually taller than people think I am. He said, Tom's not that much taller, but they had him stood, so he was so much bigger than me. He said, he said, I turned around and looked. He said, and he's just staring at me. And I was like, I genuinely, for a few seconds, I was terrified. He said, and you shouldn't be, because Tom is a lovely guy. And I was terrified. And then Bane shoots a look at Bern Gorman that makes you go, fucking hell, I would have run away. Like, I would have never come back. It's a fucking great movie. Is it as good as The Dark Knight? No. It's not. But it is still, like Ian just said there, it is so much better than a lot we've had since. There's an element of, we never knew how good we had it around this time.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're never going to get to it again.
No.
Apart from if Chris Nolan and 3 other directors decide they want to.
Yeah. And that's it. I think the closest we would get to something like the level of quality that we got off these is if the new Bonds turned around and went, Nolan, you can do a Bond trilogy. It is just encapsulated, and it is just, you're going to be in charge of it, and you're going to get 300 million at a time, but it is going to be just, that's it. 3 and you're done, and you get to pick it all. And I reckon he'd go on then.
It's just, he'll never do it because it's Amazon.
Yep.
And like he'll be like, I want a guaranteed 3-month theatrical, you're not going to put it out on anything else, I want a physical media release, blah, 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 which is the right thing to do, but that's why he'll never do a Bond film.
That's why he'll never do a Bond film. What still baffles me, slight mal tangent there, is the fact that I thought the other day, ooh, do you know what? I think I'm ready to watch No Time to Die again. So I just went onto Amazon thinking, well, it'll be on Prime, won't it? Because let's face it, if you own a streaming service, right, and you also own a movie studio, and the biggest thing that movie studio has
and
Bond.
a new Bond game just got announced last week,
yep.
So some gamers might be in a Bond mood.
Yeah, if you've got all of that, right, you're gonna have all the Bond movies on, aren't you? No, they don't.
No, they're greedy, so they'll be chargeable. They'll be on there, I'm assuming, but they'll be chargeable.
But that's just for me.
That's what they do, though. If there's something new coming out, it's a sequel to something, they take it off Prime and they put it on charge only.
But it's just, I don't get it. That would literally be like if you went on to Disney Plus and went, I fancy watching Avengers Endgame, and went, nah, it's not here. It's baffling.
Though, isn't it? They're shit.
They're not very good. I reckon they think they're free. They just don't know. It's not. Someone just hit the wrong button.
They can't even navigate their own user interface until they've not actually seen it.
They couldn't find it. I also watched a Rennie Harlan film called The Cleaner from 2007, starring Sam Jackson, Ed Harris, old big face Eva Mendes.
I'm going to pee, but I'm listening. Carry on, sorry.
Louis Guzman turns up. Just fucking Guzman about the fucking place.
I love a bit of the goose.
Yeah. Essentially, so you've watched this before, haven't you, X?
Have I?
Yeah. Samuel Jackson plays a retired cop who is suffering some trauma. And he has left the police force and now he runs a cleaning service where they specialise in cleaning up crime scenes.
Oh, this rings a bell, yeah.
Yeah, crime scenes and dead bodies and things like that.
Yeah.
So he gets called out to clean up this crime scene, and he goes and he cleans it all up and everything like that. And then he's then, like, because he's cleaned up crime scenes, he's then supposed to report to the police that he's cleaned up crime scenes. So he has a number that he has to ring up, and he has to log the crime incident number, etc. And he goes to log it, and they're like, "Oh no, we haven't got that." And he's like, "Oh, all right." And then there's other bits. And then he realises that he's left with the key that he had, so he goes back, take the key back, and Eva Mendes is there, and she it's the person who owns the house. And she's like, "What are you on about?" And so he's like, "Oh fuck!" And he realises that this wasn't a crime scene that had been reported. No. This was just a murder scene that he's just professionally fucking cleaned up.
Was it a murder death kill?
It was a murder death kill. And then it all ends up being around a conspiracy that actually he's part of as well, and he was targeted within it. And you've got fucking Ed Harris doing Ed Harris bits, which is basically just being really fucking, like, good.
Is he a bad guy, though?
He is a bad guy, yeah. But
obviously. But he's really good at it.
He's really good at it. But he's also, like, part of the thing is, he is Samuel Jackson's ex-partner. And Samuel Jackson has left the police force because his wife was murdered, and he basically has cut out that part of his life, and Ed Harris is pissed off with him because they weren't just, like, partners, they were close friends. And, like, he's cut him out of his life, and he's like, I don't get to see my goddaughter anymore, I don't get to see you anymore, and I miss my friend, and I miss my, you were all my family, and he's just fucking angry. But it turns out that, he's involved in the whole thing as well. Yeah, it was a solid lunchtime watch.
I remember really liking it.
It's alright. It's alright.
I might double bill that on 187.
You could double bill that on 187. Nice Samuel Jackson double bill.
Yeah. Both about murders.
And then Ian.
Yo.
Ian.
Yo.
How much does John Bernthal really want that dog 2 weeks earlier?
Did you? Oh, cool. That's a lovely segue. That whole section in The Accountant 2, where it's building up to him having a conversation with someone. It's like, what's going on? And then it's that.
All spoilers all the time, because we might get a bit spoilery for The Accountant 2, which isn't our feature review, but fuck it. I think we need to.
Yeah, I mean, let's not go too long on it.
Yeah.
But it just feels like the most... Are you a man in his early 40s who wants to see John Bernthal and Ben Affleck
Hang out.
hang out, kick some ass, and get into some random shit?
Is there anything more satisfying than punching a guy in the face who really deserves it?
It's one of the most I really shouldn't be alright with this being this, and yet I am films I've seen in quite some time. Like the plot is fucking bananas. But weirdly so.
Yeah.
Where it's about child trafficking, but it's also about a mysterious hit woman who, all spoilers all the time, turns out was a waitress who was severely beaten and was beaten in such a specific way that she lost her memory but gained a preternatural ability to be able to kill people.
Yeah.
While Ben Affleck goes to a speed dating thing and fucks with the algorithm. And John Bernthal wants to get a dog.
And then ends up getting a cat.
And yeah.
I mean, the end of that movie...
The Accountant wasn't like this.
No, the end of that movie, that is John Bernthal, who was literally... like, the glee that he has when he can start, like, beating people up in the film is wonderful. But John Bernthal is angry because the kid that they've saved has had the cat for longer than he has.
Oh, God, yeah.
I had a great time with The Accountant too.
But it just... so did I. Like, I really, really enjoyed this. I watched most of it on the cross trainer, and fuck me, did it go down smooth on there, I tell you what.
It was a lunchtime watch for me.
Oh, mate, I mean, it's perfect. Like, God, I wish I saw it in the cinema. I'm actually annoyed with myself that I didn't go see it. But it's because The Accountant was fine.
Yep.
It was, it was all right. And then this is just like it's been beamed in from another planet.
Yeah. I mean, Bernthal going when they've got the wall of like of all the incidents, and she's like, going, look, why would he work with somebody who killed all these people? He's like, well, I don't think he killed that one. She didn't kill that one, I don't think. I don't kill that one. Like, how'd you know? Just a hunch. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. You've got an entire sequence where Ben Affleck tries to chap someone up, and then kind of flames out, and then just learns how to line dance
because it's a simple process that he can replicate.
Yeah.
But then, even within that, you've got, I'm kind of glad this happened because you're like, my brother wasn't having a fun time and now he will. And you've just got him basically going, there's a bar fight.
But the thing is, it's baggy. It's 2.25 hours long, and there's none of this stuff really pays off in any way. but it's almost like it's the continuing adventures of the accountant and his brother. But the first part wasn't really setting that up.
Yep.
And then also we're gonna have waitress who turns into hitman.
Yep.
And this child trafficking plot.
I'd take another one of these. It's just them like,
mate,
on a fucking road trip.
If Amazon want to just like bankroll Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's production company, Artist Equity, to make a bunch of stuff, but every 2 years for the next 10 years, they've got to do an accountant. I will be there at the cinema day one.
It's helped because Gavin O'Connor is a good director and can do tension quite well. Because it is tense at some points within it. But also, there's a great buddy movie element in like the middle of it, where it's just them kind of having a bit of a laugh. You've got the weird like juxtaposition of Ben Affleck's character being able to do all these things, but not understanding that just because he can do them, he probably shouldn't be able to. He shouldn't do them. But having a morality, he knows what is right and wrong. And then you've got John Bernthald's character who can do all these things and do a shit about right and wrong. He just wants to have a laugh with it all. Like, it's quite great.
Yeah.
Also, there is a moment within the movie where I looked at it and thought, fuck, I do that. Like, I do that frequently. And I'll show it to Bex later on. But there's a moment where they're on like the thing, and like Ben Affleck's putting sun cream on his legs, something like that, because he got burned with a kid. And Bernthal just goes, oh, can I have some of that? And he gets it and just throws it away, and then just starts laughing about it. And Becky, you can attest that's the kind of shit I do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really annoying.
I
love you, but it's really annoying.
Yeah. I mean, Accountant 2 is great. What else are we watching here?
Yeah, good movie. But also, if you're not a man in your early 40s, it's probably not.
Yeah, it's probably not, no.
It just feels like the weirdest fucking hug of a film. It's so fuck yeah. Anyway, right. What I've been watching. Okay, rewatched Mickey 17. That film is still the definitive. The whole is not worth the sum of its parts film for me. Mark Ruffalo, bad. He's bad in it. He's gone, I'm just gonna do a Trump thing, and Bong Joon-ho's gone, alright, but have some weird teeth. And that's what they've gone with. It's like I really enjoy a lot of bits. I think Robert Pattinson's really, really good. I like Tim Key as the pigeon, and it's never explained why he's a pigeon. That cool. That's great. I like the idea of the like Mickey basically taking the first hour of the film to realise that creature wasn't didn't reject him because he wasn't tasty enough. It was actually trying to help him. All that kind of stuff. That's good, but there's a lot of world building in this film that probably doesn't really need to be there, and there's just Toni Collette's obsession with sauces. It's Bong Joon-ho just won Best Director, Best Foreign Language Film, Best Original Screenplay. Let him do what he wants.
Yeah,
and there's a problem with that. I'm glad Sinners did so well to kind of mask the fact that Mickey 17 did so poorly, and I'm not surprised it did poorly. And it's all right as Mickey 17, but man, that film should be better and would be better if you locked some time off.
Yeah, it's just too fucking long.
Yeah. It drags so hard. The pacing in that film's fucked. The pacing is not fucked in Jason X, which I bought the 4K of because I wanted to watch the documentary on it, and I did, and it's just Sean S. Cunningham, Noel Cunningham, and Kane Hodder just talking, and that's about it. Just newly filmed interviews where they are old and haggard and talking about past successes, but weren't really successes, because the thing is, Jason X is shit. It's got great kills, a couple of great kills. The nitrogen face is very, very well done. The weird screw that's just there for no reason, and then the guy gets impaled on it, then kind of screws down it, and then someone says, "Where's blah blah blah?" and the response is, "He's screwed." Great, good. That's fantastic. What isn't fantastic is the fact that this film looks like it, and probably was, shot on a Canadian porno set where they were doing a porno version of like Farscape or Andromeda. The production design of this film is offensive.
What I think is quite amusing is the director of this movie is a man called Jim Isaac, right? When you click on his Wikipedia page, there's a photo of David Cronenberg with the caption underneath it that says, "James Isaac works on David Cronenberg's films." But that's the header picture. There is no picture of James Isaac.
Oh, man. I mean, and Jim Isaac, bless him, died of like blood cancer in his early 50s.
Yeah, 51.
Like really sad end. And yeah, was one of David Cronenberg's effects guys, and you know, Cronenberg did him a favour by like appearing in this film, and like apparently he wanted to get killed on screen, you know, and that's cool because he does.
And he made Skinwalkers, which is a good movie.
Yeah, and but this honestly, the production design is awful. Harry Manfredini did the score for a lot of the Friday the 13th films, does the score for this, and it's just a score out of time. The costume design as well, and it's aged very badly as well. Like, there is a robot in this where the whole joke is like people are taking the piss out of the guy who made her because he's like, "Oh, you just want to fuck her," and in the end, yeah, he does. And it's rough going, is Jason X, and also he doesn't get his upgrade till literally the last 15 minutes of the fucking film.
Which I think I messaged you when you said that to me, and I was like,
no,
I thought it was like the first 25 minutes.
Yeah, so you know, yeah, bad. But also, the transfer on the 4K is the worst 4K transfer I've ever seen.
Oof, that's rough.
It looks so bad. Okay, and the last one for me is Led Zeppelin. Becoming Led Zeppelin. Which got an IMAX release.
Did you?
Yeah. Sure. The thing is, right, Led Zeppelin, very noodly band. And it's got a lot of concert footage. Well, not even concert, but it feels like kind of like restored footage or stuff that hasn't been seen before. So they play the entire song. And no talking heads over it or anything like that. And I know fuck all about the history of Led Zeppelin. And what I've learned from this is they came together, and the drummer's wife wasn't really very happy about it. Robert Plant was basically homeless, and then they came together, and they all came from, like, they liked different things, and in the middle of the Venn diagram it was Led Zeppelin. Yeah. And that's what I've learned. from hour and 50-minute long documentary about Led Zeppelin, where a lot of the footage the audience look bored. But I mean, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant and John
Paul Jones.
Yeah, that's him. That's the Badger. They all seem like affable enough guys. They all seem nice.
Does it go into detail about the the fact that Jimmy Page's girlfriend around the time Led Zeppelin was 14?
No.
Does it not?
No.
Everyone seems to forget about that.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Can I ask as well? How many albums were there after Led Zeppelin 2?
4?
It really is becoming Led Zeppelin then, because it ends there.
I'm fairly certain. Let me just double check that. I think it is 4.
And so,
2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 6, 7. That can't be right.
Is there a story but because then none of them are together in the film? Is there a story as to why they wouldn't do a documentary about the whole history of the band?
I think there's a lot of shit that they probably just don't want to get out there. To be honest,
right.
While they're all still alive. Obviously, there's the fact that John Bonham is no longer with us.
Yeah.
I think it's majority. I think there's a lot of that. They've also historically they're very protective over what doesn't get out. They don't. Famously, Led Zeppelin never released a single.
Yeah. No, they touch on that in this as well, which fair play. They recorded the album, then basically said to Atlantic Records, you can sign us, but no singles. You fucking take it as is.
Yeah, and part of
Ball
that
move.
Is there's always been a thing within music copyright that if you release a single, that single can then be covered and used by anybody else because it's a single. So without you still get paid for it and things like that, but they don't necessarily need your permission to do it.
Oh man, okay.
It's why, for instance, Biffy Clyro song ended up being covered by an X Factor winner.
Yeah,
and they were like, "We couldn't say no. Please stop telling us off about it."
So and that's why Jack Black had to do that video to them for Kashmir.
Yeah, and it's like
right.
It's like some of their stuff has appeared in movies and things like that, but it's literally it would be because the director has asked and said, "Can we use this?"
Yeah, I mean that's cool, man. This documentary, that I remember the whole big thing being this is stuff they've never really talked about. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here that people haven't really ever seen. So but from a not really knowing that point of view and just being genuinely interested to learn about Led Zeppelin, I haven't got an awful lot there.
No, you won't. They kind of will like to have more of the look. You don't need to know us as the people, but this is about the music kind of vibe to it. I've actually met Rob Plant a few times. He's a nice. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, he comes across well, and I'm sure he is. That's the thing. It's I just. They're quite noodly.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I mean,
he's a weird chap in the fact that he's a guy who's in one of the biggest bands of all time, and but you just wouldn't think it. It just seems like just a general just guy.
Mm. Yeah. Fair play. Look, I'm sure for fans, like the fact there's stuff in here you haven't seen before, I'm sure that's great. From kind of like outside looking in, I think of something more like Moon Age Daydream as just being like, well, that's just like an interesting experience.
Yeah.
Like frustrating in its own way, but at least it's a film.
The thing I've seen people say about Becoming Led Zeppelin is it's not enough of a documentary for it to be interesting as you find stuff out about the band, and it's also not just a concert film that has a little bit of band history in it either. It's just a little bit of nothing in between.
That's totally fair. It's totally fair. Okay. Predator Killer of Killers is directed by Dan Trachtenberg and co-directed by Joshua Wasung. Stars the vocal talents of Michael Bine, Doug Cockle, Rick Gonzalez, and Lauren Holt. So, three of the fiercest warriors in human history become prey to the ultimate killer of killers. Sure, basically it's 3 short films about folks who end up killing a predator, who then band together in the final section to go up against other predators. This is Dan Trachtenberg's kind of side project before the release of Predator Badlands later this year. Trachtenberg seems to be the kind of like the shepherd of the Predator series at this point going forward. Mark, based on Killer of Killers and Prey, how are you feeling about that?
Why the fuck not? Wouldn't have expected it to come from Dan Trachtenberg.
Where'd that come from?
Don't know. I don't know. I wish I knew. 10 Cloverfield Lane is good. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, he seems to really fucking like the franchise. And seems to have a lot of love for it, but also seems to be a clever... is Colin Trevorrow the guy who did the Jurassic Park ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where it came from. Guys you wouldn't expect to do things. But he also seems to have a good, smart knowledge of cinema. I think he's working off the idea of what would I like to watch as a fan of the Predator? What would be cool? And has kind of looked at that, and I think Predator Killer of Killers has kind of... he's even admitted it himself and said it came about because people said, oh, wouldn't it be cool if you had a Predator movie that was this and this? And I thought, yeah, it would be. But would it be cool if it was holistically that? Maybe not. But would it be cool if it was that as a short film? Yeah. But how do you do a Predator short film? Animate it. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
One of the most successful things that happened in the Predator franchise outside of the first film was the comic books. It's got a history in this. So having it like this and having it be more episodic and it be this, and you can they've opened it up to the world where you can have it be this. It means you can go, well, here's Predator versus the Vikings. Here's Predator versus samurais. Here's Predator in a war setting. You can do all 3 of those on a much smaller scale, but make it really fucking fun. And that's what you've got here. And if you're not vibing... Because the thing is, if you straight away go, I'm not vibing with this Viking aesthetic, and it's a 105-minute movie, you're going to check out very quickly. Whereas if it's a 90-minute movie where you know that it's episodic and there's other stories within it, you can there go, well, I'm not vibing this, but in a fucking minute, he's going to Japan, he's going to fight some fucking samurais.
Yeah, because really there's 4 episodes, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's the 3 historical ones, and then there's the one on the...
Yeah. I had a fucking great time with this. It looks fantastic. I wasn't vibing as much with the Viking one.
Oh, really? Was that your least favourite?
It's my least favourite, probably, yeah.
What was your favourite?
It's the fucking samurai one.
Obviously. I really didn't like the fucking last one.
I liked the last one.
I really
I thought it was
didn't
quite
like
cool. And I think if you're not vibing with
Partly
it...
because he wasn't really a fucking warrior, was he?
I don't know, he's pretty badass.
Was he? He just flew a plane.
I can't fly a plane.
I don't know, it just seemed a bit like... It just seemed like some fucking weedy kid who could fly a plane.
I thought he was pretty badass. But yeah, I had a really good time with them. They're really fun. It's a really interesting way to do something. I think it's really cool that Hulu/Disney basically went, yeah, go on then. Yeah, we're going to go with this. It's
animated beautifully as well.
Animated beautifully, yeah. The fact that it's different predators is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen them because obviously they're obviously from like the future because of the kit they've got, or they're from a very advanced race. It would have been nice to have seen like a historical futuristic.
But we might get that.
Cool. Yeah.
We might get that where they're fighting, I don't know, fucking space ninjas.
Sure. Space ninjas.
So yeah. What anyone else think?
Yeah, very similar to be fair. Apart from my ranking would be different than yours of the three sections, but that, like you say, is the beauty of having it be episodes within a larger whole. Essentially, you can not love one and then go, oh, but this one's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the samurai one is the best one.
Yeah, it's fucking badass. Ian, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much there with you guys, to be honest. Samurai One rules.
Mark made fun of me because I couldn't remember the word for what, like... Or I couldn't think of the word for what, like, his samurai kit, uniform, whatever the fuck would be. Couldn't think of the right phrasing, so I called it his samurai cosplay, and Mark just made fun of me for ages after that.
Like, because he's not cosplaying, because he is a samurai.
Costume seemed wrong, though.
It's a costume, armoury. It's armour.
It's alright, samurai armour. Outfit. Uniform.
Come on, Mark. Yeah, no. I had a good time with it. It felt not fan servicey, but
yeah, it felt like it had a point.
Had nods, but it wasn't like smushing your face in it.
It wasn't Easter eggy.
No, I'll be honest, I was actually a little bit disappointed where the mid credits bit, it wasn't Arnie, it was the girl from Prey.
Yeah.
Why not have Dutch in there? Like, I'm sure you could give Arnie some money for a voice role if you wanted to do an animated.
I reckon he'd probably just do it.
Just for shits.
He'd be bang up for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the World War II pilot one, I liked the way that they focused more on him being able to fix shit.
Yeah.
And then that kind of played out in the later segment. It's a good time, and I like the fact that while it kind of feels side story-y, it's obviously canon.
Yeah.
It's with Dan Trachtenberg being involved there, and it's made with feeling and heart, and it doesn't feel tossed off. It felt like something that wasn't necessary, but Dan Trachtenberg was like, I want to do this because I think it will be cool. And it is, and it worked.
That's it. And the thing is, he's said, he was asked, if there's a plan to do more of them. And he said, if you want more of them, go and see Predator Badlands. Because there'll be more of them if you go and see that. So you get the feeling like it is, yeah, we'll do more of the animated ones, but you need to go and see
This one too.
this one.
Well, all right, then it's a deal.
To get them, because we need to, it needs to be popular for us to do it, otherwise they're just not going to bother, which is kind of fair enough.
Yeah.
But then Prey was very popular, but Prey was that's the big test, I think, is
Get people in the cinema.
can you get people in the cinema for it? And that is going to test. But I think it's clever because almost this is a little bit of like the marketing for Predator Badlands.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
It gets the franchise back out there again, and back in people's memories, and kind of makes you go, fucking hell, yeah, I am down for some more Predatoring.
Predatoring.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
And then I'm going to go and watch The Predator. Fives.
It feels like a you played yourself moment, then, to be honest. Yeah, definitely not shit. Full of feeling, like good animation, like some fun stories. Yeah, lovely expansion of the universe.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
A vanity project that it was made, and you can see why.
Yeah.
It's coming from the right place, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, it is. There's just an element of, I think this will be cool, and he's not just gone, yeah, I'm going to tack my name onto it. I think he'll have been like, I think this is going to be cool, not just to show people, but to actually fucking make and be involved in.
Yeah, for sure.
There's an element, and I think Dan Trachtenberg's kind of a little bit gone, sorry a minute, I get to actually learn a new skill and try something out that I would really like to try out, but I also get to make a fucking movie. Go on, then.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. I think we all expected it to be good, but it's always nice when that pays off.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. But and our audience poll on that was 100% definite shit.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, there you go.
We don't think we've got any questions. I need to start putting the questions out a bit earlier, I think. I put them out too late. So I'm going to start putting
Rick,
them out.
just send us a question whenever you feel like it, mate.
Yeah,
We'll save it.
we will save it, yeah. But that's my bad. Apologies for that.
I think the algorithm can fuck you sometimes as well, though, because it hides stuff.
Well, I'll stop it from hiding bits.
So, are we doing How to Train Your Dragon?
I'll go and see it.
Yeah, I really like the animated one, so...
What are you thinking, Ian? Are you wanting to go and see it?
Oh,
Well, it's not much
I
else,
have
is
an
there?
11-year-old daughter.
So you'll get to see it. That's cool. Yeah, I'll happily go and see it.
There we are. We shall be talking about How to Train Your Dragon next week. And until then, I've been Ian Loring.
I've been Becky Foster. We don't
Mark.
normally do this. This is confusing to me.
Mark's just saying Mark. And you've been you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.